Listen, I wanted to talk to you about Juliana. I know you're not asking my opinion, but for what it's worth, I appreciate you understanding her situation. I couldn't agree with you more. Out here, you've got to live and let live. Principles are one thing, but you can't let them get in the way of basic decency. I wish more of your countrymen took that view. Rebellion's more like our natural state of being in the living lands. People on the island don't much like being told what to do. In fact, many come here specifically for that reason. And the Stilgarrote. Ludwine and her paladins have been busy in the hinterlands. It's all rumor and speculation, but I don't think they're making your cause any friends. I don't like to gossip.
Since when?
Okay, I like fun gossip. They say she's hunting down so-called agitators, flattening entire settlements that stand in her way. Of course, all the news reaching Paradise is jumbled together. Stories about the Dream Scourge, the Stilgarrote, and the weird happenings that are almost commonplace around here. So it's hard to say what's true. If they're here under your banner, people will see their actions as representing you. I think you're right. I don't know that these rebels are all that organized yet. But where there's foam, there's rocks, as the saying goes. Shoot. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? Long enough that he's got a good roster of stories about my blunders in the wilds, which he'll remind us of constantly. He's got a soft heart under that gruff exterior. He feels things more deeply than he lets on, so if he burns the stew one evening, maybe don't mention it. That's just how he shows affection. He's deeply loyal to people once he gets to know them, and he likes companionship more than he lets on. He just has a funny way of showing it. I think he left Gallowayne's tusks suddenly, and under unfortunate circumstances. He's never spoken directly about it, but that's what I put together, and it explains a lot. Losing home, losing the people who gave you a sense of yourself, it leaves a mark. But don't tell him I told you that. Seriously. Give him time, and don't rush the process. Think of him like a skittish little cub. He just needs to get used to you, but he'll come around once he does. Definitely don't tell him I said that. Okay, but only if you let me turn that question around once I've answered you. I think you've been trusted with a nearly impossible task. When we first met, I thought that was because you made some powerful enemies back home. But as I've gotten to know you, I think that if anyone can stop the Dream Scourge, it's you. At the end of the day, I'm proud to fight alongside you. And there you have it. Your turn now. Thanks. We've all got to be able to enjoy a little peace at camp, right? Sure. I'll tell you what I can. Enjoy the ocean breeze while we're here.
It's not every day you get to deal with the person who killed you. And since you set them free, you get to deal with them again sometime in the future. What part? The part where you set free an assassin who succeeded at killing you once already? Right, must be that part. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. You found the assassin, and you're still alive, which means well done, Marius. Anyway. Companions? It's just Kai, isn't it? As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but... Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that I'll cut a hole in your water skins. Right. What do you want to know? Lovely place, as the Living Lands goes. I advise most people to stay around here if they're looking to settle. Paradise isn't the safest place in the world, but it is the safest place in the lands. Walls and guards go a long way out here. Other than that, you've got bits of forest, grasslands, some caves, cliffs, and all sorts of things to get you into trouble. This is the easiest place to survive in the Living Lands. Enjoy it while it lasts. Heard an envoy from Adir showed up and got himself killed. Other than that, nothing. Honestly, I don't listen out for gossip much. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Normally you look for some shelter first. Cut down a few small trees, gather moss to keep the wind out. Nothing too elaborate. With so little tree cover, you want to keep moving. The reeds near the coast make great fibers for rope, so you can lash branches together and make a decent roof. Of course, we're always moving, so we just make a quick camp and carry on. So you don't have to worry about all that. Right. Good talk. No offense, but you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy. I mean that anyone who wanted to track you down would just have to follow the murmurs and gawkers in your wake. An Adiran official who's new in town turns a lot of heads, especially when they're traveling with a Nim dude like Kai. Stick with Kai. You'll find out. Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. We found your assassin. Maybe I can help you avoid being killed again in the future. My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is. Merci, Envoy. I'll make myself at home. Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you have things to do. Anyway. Ask away. Oh? Do tell. Right, thinking about Solace will do that to you. It's not something I like talking about, really. Honestly, I prefer leaving the past in the past. I see. Let's lay this out, Envoy. I don't need to know how many men you've killed to know you're more than capable in battle. Now, we just met, Envoy, and I'm here to do a job. Maybe we'll be best of friends someday, but this isn't that day. Best we just keep things professional. Thank you. Not everyone accepts that some things are best left in the past. Right, changing the subject. What do you need? Right, what do you want to know? Right, good talk.
Not everyone warrants an assassination attempt, you know. You should be flattered. Good thing you rectified that for him. Though you really had him at a loss when you let him go. Me too, for that matter. Don't get me wrong, I'm impressed. Not many in your position would have let him walk away. I think the Living Lands has a way of wringing the tenderness out of those who survive it. Even though most of us come here looking for a second chance, it's rare that we offer one. Why'd you do it? Clever. Though I suspect he and his followers will scatter to the winds after this. I'm afraid we haven't seen the last of this conflict, though. Eagwolf isn't the only hothead in the Living Lands, and he's certainly not the only one with his hackles up about all you Adira newcomers. And Ludwig and the Steel Garrote are only making matters worse. They're a match to a powder keg. Your ambassador and the rest of the Adiran forces have been dragging the frontier, kicking and screaming towards order and civilization. All the things that half of us moved here to escape. Then, one day, Ludwig and the Steel Garrote show up to reinforce the Adiran presence, and they're as harsh as Wodaka herself. Mine, too. I understand discipline, but you've got to know when to give. It remains to be seen whether Ambassador Hilgard and Ludwig are rowing in the same direction. But I fear there's trouble on the horizon, especially if the Steel Garrote's tactics win out. Like it or not, their differences could make trouble for you, especially since the Steel Garrote is here under Adir's flag. And I worry about what that means for the rest of us. Just thinking about Claviger Amon. I let him down. I've let a few people down over the years. But I did promise someone once that I'd do my part to look after all of us riffraff who've made a home here. My best chance of doing that is helping you investigate this plague and keep a lid on tensions. And, hopefully, fend off any future assassination attempts. Feelings mutual. It's nice to share a campfire again. I think that's enough doom and gloom for one night, don't you? Sleep easy, Envoy. As best you can. I'll be here if you need me.
You might want to consider not washing your clothes in safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
No, it's fine. If you feel the need to wash your clothes, go right ahead. Just use something else.
Sweat and midday breezes don't count as washing, you know.
Right, so I smell like the wilderness. You people stand out like a tree rat in heat. You've been complaining about the flies, though. They're attracted to the scent of safflowers.
Thanks, Marius. That's helpful.
Well, don't get used to it.
touched something like your dreams before. Our roots entwine, but we cannot linger here long. We must know. A killer freed, a predator returned to the woods. You bled and forgave. Why? Should he not suffer for your pain? Compassion for the snake. He killed our beloved. Our weeds tangled. This is not our way. A dam broke. We wept in the dark when your soul slipped away. We feared for you, felt your agony. We could not forgive. We bide our time. We wait. Wake now. We have tending to do.
This isn't so bad.
Your city smells like a tannery. I cannot escape it even here.
Yeah, but there's a breeze. When it really picks up, you hardly notice.
There is also a plague.
Okay, so that's not great, I will admit. But that's rare. I think you could like it here. You know, if you gave it a shot.
Maybe so. I should return home, but perhaps I will stay.
Whatever's grown over that Audra doesn't look natural.
The gate to Emerald Stair is closed. I suggest you turn around. So you're the Adiran envoy everyone's talking about. The embassy wants me to keep an eye on who comes and goes between here and Emerald Stair. Now, strictly speaking, the militia doesn't report to the embassy. But with the Clavager gone, what choice do we have? I'm afraid not. You need special permission to travel deeper inland. The ambassador wants us safe and tidy behind these walls. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Come back when the ambassador gives you leave.
We're not done in Dawnshore yet. We can worry about this later.
Can't believe we're stationed out here, so far from the city. They piss off the captain or something?
Oh, hush. You're acting like we got sent to shatter the top of his tusks.
Hail, friend. Always nice to see a fellow traveler out here. Where are you headed? Ah, a fellow wanderer then. This is certainly a beautiful place to explore. Dangerous, true. but beautiful nonetheless. One of my ancestors apparently grew up in Solace Keep, deep in the living lands. I hope to find this place. It's my ancestral home. Sure, I may have grown up in Stalwart, but I'm Pagroon through and through, just like the dwarves here in the living lands.
If your ancestors left Solace, it isn't your ancestral home anymore.
Some things never change. Whether I'm here or back in Stalwart, it's always the Pagroonen that make me question this journey. Fair question. Not something you'd expect someone all the way in the White March to hear about, hmm? After my grandmother was taken by the Usher, I found her mother's writings, centuries old. They talked about a home her family left when she was just a child, and from that moment, I knew I had to return.
Stand back.
Got some.
Ready? Aim.
Something nearby. Something here. Got some. Coming in hot. Here it comes. One more. Aye, aye.
Voices. Arms building a wall. The ruins sleep in the field now. The only proof they lived. How do we leave our mark upon the river of memory? The trees speak through their roots, a forest greater than its parts. We are not alone. This soothes us.
Just like the Stranglegoat. Envoy, you gotta tell me you've seen it.
The envoy blacked out. And now the Atra has flowers on it. Does that about sum it up? Not sure who lived here before. Looks like something you'd see in Emerald Stair.
Keep your guard up. They don't look like the type to negotiate.
Need a hand. You're right. Right with you.
Been seeing a lot more bandits since the Dream Scourge has driven people out of the interior.
Well, that was fun. they come.
Rather than be here.
Next one's mine.
Just like the good old days.
Wouldn't want to be a bandit out here, with all those guards around. Careful. There's nothing more dangerous out here than taking a moment to relax.
Left flank!
There's almost always something worth finding in ruins like these. If, that's what you're looking for. I'm not one for walking up to altars. Maybe leave this one alone.
We have been here before. Does the new earth settle beneath your feet? Dried blood on a blade, a relic of a battle fought and lost, a way of life transplanted. Now our memory is a wound reopened. For generations, the Akita wandered the land, seeds in the wind. A storm had tossed them to our shores. They were branches without roots. Then you, Kishimal, were born with our face. Our flowers bloomed in your hair. Your people saw a sign of greatness. Blessing, one with a heavy price. The elders trained you not as a child, but as a paragon. They expected everything. They forgave nothing. The responsibility was like a stone. Help us remember, Kishimal. How did you bear the weight? You faced your work with dignity. You had no other choice. While you feared failure, they rewarded you for your diligence. When you came of age, turmoil stirred. Lightning split the bark. Some tired of their exile. They wanted to return to their ancestral lands. You both wanted the best for your people. How could you reconcile? A bud opened. A comet streaked across the sky. You had a vision. You dreamed of a city where the sea swept into the wood, a place to flourish. to gather, more than a settlement, a home. What did you envision in your fitful sleep, Kishimo? The Akita could not remain isolated if they were to thrive. They needed to open their arms to each other, and to outsiders as well. So the carpenters and masons set out, but we resisted them. What was a wall to a trailing vine, an arch to a mighty oak? The Akita's fate hung by spider silk. You knew you must adapt. Months became years, and the people stood in awe of what they built. It eclipsed the lands of their ancestors. Its spires challenged the clouds. How did you feel as you gazed upon your masterwork? You had earned your pride, yet a new trial awaited you. The people reasoned that the one who had built the city should lead it. A chorus of their voices joined in one. Another wait. Some claimed that this was the destiny your birth foretold. Tell us, Kishimo, how did you lead? To lead is to serve. You always knew this. We should like that to be our way. In time, others came to revere you for your selflessness. You were an example to be followed. They saw what they themselves could be. So your reign passed, a year into an age. The seas rose and fell until one day, nothing. Silence. We see ash, devastation, a lifetime reduced to dust. We can remember no more. No matter how far we reach back. It is fruitless. A void. A tremor in the Adra. Perhaps it should not be known. Yet one shape shines through the canopy of our memory. A face amid the rubble. You, Kishimo. What became of you? They wept with joy as they extracted you. A long night lay before them, but the leader they loved remained. As the earth settled, we felt their hope in the darkness, and we learned. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Hey, Envoy. Back with us? Don't get too used to the comforts of Paradise.
now!
Better on our feet than in the ground.
There's a shrine over there, to Woodaka, if I remember correctly.
If anyone can get away with looting a temple, it's a godlike.
Well met. Feel free to partake of Wodaka's favorite.
Bet that was part of something once.
Welcome. Please stay a while. May the Burned Queen watch over you.
You had me at welcome and lost me at Burned Queen.
Pray, she never hears you. Wodaka forgets little. Come to pay your respects at the shrine, envoy? Only that the Living Lands has no idea how to honor Wodaka with proper respect. Just look at the state of this shrine.
At ease, soldier. You Adiran sure do take these things seriously.
One cannot take the sacred for granted. One of Wodaka's own totems sits at this shrine, a true rarity. Totems like these are relics from a bygone era. There are legends about how the gods imbued them with their own essence. Can you imagine holding something like this in your hands? Alas, this one is a fragment of what it once was. What I would give to see what power it held. Not much, I'm afraid. All I can tell you is that it's very old. I suspect it was built for a different purpose before it became a shrine to Wodaka. Really? I'll have to look for him the next time I'm on leave. If I'm ever on leave. Painstakingly. We don't have the right materials to rebuild the shrine, so we have to make do.
Nice work. It even smells better here.
I've asked for more supplies. Hopefully the quartermaster won't be foolish enough to refuse. The Burned Queen deserves everything from us. The sky, and the land, and the heads of her enemies. The others betrayed her. They cast the Queen out. But it doesn't matter. She will prevail in the end. Fuck Margaret for burning her. Fuck Abidon for building the machines that powered Margaret's treachery. I have more patience for the two gods of death, Berith and Rimagand. I merely tolerate Wal and Scan. And I'm profoundly uninterested in Aothis. Apologies. I suppose I have strong opinions on the gods, particularly those that cross the burned queen. Of course, I consider myself a self-taught scholar of all the gods, though I am partial to one. Aothis rules over light and hope and redemption and all such things. He allegedly died, but then rose again in the Deadfire Archipelago. They also say that long ago, a farmer by the name of Widewind claimed to be a vessel of Aothis, and went on a rampage across the Eastern Reach. Frivolous idiocy, as far as I'm concerned. Calls himself a god of crafting, but Abidon is just a sniveling idiot who serves Margaret, creating weapons for her campaigns. I don't understand how he could bow his head to that traitor. They also say that long ago, a farmer by the name... Ah, you'd think so. Berith is the one who determines who lives and dies, ruling over the paths that the dead walk to their next lives. But Rimagand rules over the act of death itself. He is famine, and he is loss, bad luck on a winter road. Very different aspects of the same universal end. Margaret is a traitor. Instead of bowing her head, Margaret burned Wodica. Yet her followers claim she's not a god of battle lust, that she instead embodies military excellence and discipline. Ha! If she were either of such things, the act of worshipping her wouldn't be so persecuted in Rayed Ceres. Yes, a god of resentment, and secret hatreds, and violent rebellions. Sometimes, his followers mutilate themselves so he can possess them, transforming them into killing machines that die when the slaughter is done. I'm not surprised. Wal is the god of secrets and revelations. Their worshippers have probably rambled incoherently at you about one thing or another at some point. It's tiresome. Of course. Goodbye.
Avowed.